I now invite the President of the Economic and Social Council, His Excellency Munir Akram, to address the Commission.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Secretary General, at the outset, I would like to congratulate you, Mr. Chairman, on leading the Commission on the Status of Women at its 65th session, and wish you and your Bureau all success in your deliberations. The theme of this session, women's effective participation in decision-making in public life and elimination of all forms of violence against them, is linked intrinsically with their empowerment in the social, political, economic, cultural, and legal spheres. Despite considerable progress since the Beijing conference, women's voices often continue to be silenced and their participation in public life obstructed. Meanwhile, discrimination and violence against women remains pervasive. The serious and persistent obstacles which impede women's empowerment include armed conflicts, foreign occupation, terrorism, natural disasters, pandemics, climate change, the feminization of poverty, discrimination and violence, and the lack of equal access to health, education, training, and employment. Mr. Chairman, both developed and developing countries face these challenges in promoting gender equality. Neither sustainable development nor a peaceful and just world order can be achieved so long as women continue to be repressed and marginalized. Concrete measures must be taken by member states and the international community to achieve gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls as outlined in the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and in the agreed conclusions adopted by the Commission on the Status of Women, as well as in particular SDG Target 5.5, prescribing women's equal leadership at all levels of decision-making. Mr. Chairman, we must commend the Secretary General for his sincere efforts to promote gender parity within the United Nations system and throughout the world. Parity, as he has just noted, has already been achieved at the senior management level at the United Nations and is within sight at the professional level. It is equally essential for member states to ensure effective and accelerated implementation of the Beijing Declaration and Platform of Action and the fulfillment of the obligations under the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Women, as well as the commitments made in different United Nations conventions, conferences, and summits, which are mutually reinforcing. To ensure women's meaningful participation and eliminate violence against them, the international community, I believe, needs a new global compact for women's empowerment based on an action plan for mainstreaming women's participation in decision-making in public life and proposing concrete measures to eliminate all forms of violence against them, against women and girls. The agreed conclusions of the 65th session of the Commission on the Status of Women could provide concrete recommendations for framing such a global compact. We hope that the international community, Mr. Chairman, will rise to the challenge and ensure that half of the world's population is never again left behind. I thank you.
I thank the President of the Economic and Social Council for his statement.